here's a look at the first tier list that I made with the community for Street Fighter V Season 4. So this happened December 26th, 2019. Yes, they sure were molested. December 26th, 2019. This was right after the balance changes came out. This was like right after Capcom Cup happened the last time. It was right after, you know, we saw, here's the new V skills. Here's like the new stuff that came out when Season 4 came out. Well, whatever, when CE came out early, however you want to phrase that. This wasn't actually full CE because I don't think Gil had come out yet. Yeah, we didn't know where to, no, we didn't, Seth hadn't come out yet. We didn't know where to put Gil either, as you could see. And this was our take. This was like our community take. Was Rashid up there, like way at the top, and I even did this like black bar situation of nobody else can touch Rashid up here. And then I have Dictator, G, Colleen, Chun. Oh, I don't know where Akuma is. Oh, there's Akuma. Urien, Zeku, Akuma, Abigail, Ibuki. At the bottom in the crap tier, well, not literally in the ass tier, I guess, but in my least strong category was Claw, Fang, and Dawson. All sorts of stuff in the middle. Needless to say, I think this is wrong. This is absolutely incorrect. But part of what's really fun about doing this stuff, making tier lists really early, is like projecting, because you don't necessarily know how it's going to turn out. You definitely don't know how it's going to turn out, is really what it is. You don't know how it's going to end up. You're always going to be wrong when you try to pick a too early tier list. In fact, oftentimes, you know, year into the game, couple years into games, even without balance changes anymore, there are still going to be changes. You're just never going to get it right. And that means that tier lists are always like a snapshot in time. They're never 100% accurate. They always reflect the fact that you're just taking a little snapshot of your views, even if you're working with other people, like folks on the stream. You're always just taking this little snapshot of what some people think about a situation, and nobody has all the information, and nobody can look into the future to just sort of figure out what will be figured out. That's part of the fun of it, is making guesses and then looking back later on and being like, that was right, that was wrong. It's fun. I think that's really cool. You see, I also have the tournament tier list. This is a slightly different idea. So the strength, the regular tier list up here is like the normal ordering. Who's the strongest? Who's the least strong? And then tournament tier list is, if you're in a tournament, which characters should you pick to have the most success? They're not always the same thing. I mean, you see a lot of similarities, of course, in terms of placements, but some characters who are bad overall have sometimes important matchups, important individual matchups that make them more relevant in a tournament. Maybe they just happen to beat like the best character in the game, even though they lose to everybody else. That kind of thing has happened many times in the past, and a slightly less extreme version of that I think does exist in Street Fighter V as well. So that stuff's slightly different, but right, this is our take again. Rashid's still #1 up there. You got similar set of characters: Dictator, G, Colleen, Urien, Zeku, Akuma, Abigail, Ibuki. And then down at the bottom, I have Ass Tier Vega, Ass Tier Claw, which I think in retrospect is way wrong. We will not be putting him in Ass Tier today, that is for sure. But this was our thoughts on the 26th of December in 2019. Then when Seth came out, this was now in February of 2020. This was February 5th of 2020. This was our view. Rashid, still up there at the top. But nobody's in least strong. Nobody's in ass. And I guess we didn't do the tournament tier list at the time. But, you know, you still see that we had Dalsum down here. This is not going to be the case today. That's for sure. And I had Seth up here, and I remember people at the time being like, some people thought that Seth was going to be really good, right? I don't want to phrase myself as being the only person in the world who thought Seth was going to be good. But there was a bunch of pushback against Seth in the chat. There were people who were saying that Seth should be put in the stronger tier, even not even like the bottom of most strongest, but in the strong, like down here in what ended up being mid tier effectively. false. I knew that was false for sure. Like, this character has so much going on. That was definitely not going to be right, but my inclination was to have Seth further to the left on the top, indicating stronger, right? The further you are to the left and the top, the stronger that you are. My inclination was to have Seth like top 2 or 3. I was like, Seth should be, and everybody else was like, nah. So we settled on Seth here. That's fine. I like the collaborative process on this. I always think that's a cool thing. So in the tier list that we're gonna make today, I wanna have the same kind of thing going on. In this, most recently, again, being a year ago, in February 5th of 2020. So look at some of what we have here, just before we actually get to looking at the Topanga list and then making our own tier list. So Seth's up here, we got Rashid up at the top, we have Akuma actually in, again, like the most strongest tier, which is whatever you want, A tier, A plus tier, whatever, right? The letters and numbers I think are not great, which is why I have it phrased as most strongest, stronger, strong, least strong, ass. I just think that gets the point across better rather than having these like little discrete S plus, S minus, like, just tell me, you know, give me a broader idea than that. Akuma up here. I think a lot of the stuff at the top seems right still. Maybe we'll rearrange some of these. I'm not sure about this character up here. Mika, maybe not so much. I do have a standing desk. Yeah, it's pretty sick. I like it a lot. You know, I had Honda up here. I remember this being a point of contention because I was like, maybe Honda should be up here, maybe way up at the top. Everybody talked me down from that, which is probably the right call. But Gil, we didn't really know what to do. Some people wanted Gil up in the strongest tier. Some people wanted Gil here. Nobody thought Gil should be down here, or especially down here. I don't think anybody said that. You all let me put Dalsum down here for some reason, which was not the right call. Ryu's up here. Look at all these claws down here. I think a lot of this isn't going to end up being wrong.
And then they did dumps. They call them dumps. Big, massive dumps.
Thanks for that, Macross. Let's begin. Who is the best character in the game? Let's start this off. Whoop. Call down the drop-down menu. What do we want here? Who's the best? Akuma, I'm getting a lot of Akumas. I'm getting some Seths. You think I will say Seth? Maybe. You're getting some Urians in here. Does best mean the cheapest? I guess that depends on what you think, how you want to phrase it. Best in what way? Here's an interesting question. I'm gonna go Seth. There it is. Let me know. Arguments for and against. What do you got? Give it to me. My view on Seth is that I still think that Seth loses matchups, but I think everybody loses matchups. So it's not a reason to not be the best in this game. Again, I think it's pretty well balanced. It's not perfect, nothing's gonna be perfect, but it's like pretty good. So Seth having even-ish or even losing matches is not an impediment to being the best, in my view. But Seth has so much of what I feel the character needs to be good in Street Fighter V. So break it down, right? So there's good footsies normals that can lead into damage, in part through hit confirms. Good. Crouching medium kick, down roundhouse, forward strong, etc. Can change jump arc without having to spend any bar. Good jump in normals in like jump roundhouse, jump short, different uses for those things. And also axe kick. And axe kick can be plus against crouching opponents. It's safe in general. And just being able to change your jump rock's really good in general, really good. Has anti-fireball stuff. Spin kick. Super anti-fireball. I don't know why it both crushes projectiles and goes through projectiles. That's kind of nifty. That's unusual, but it's like extremely good. Whenever Seth finds a hit, they snowball. One of the best in the game, surely, at snowballing on anything. Any light attack, any whatever the attack that you find is, if you have bars, always going to end up with you having like half stage corner carry into point blank pressure. That's really good. Has after throw, forward dash is only -1, which is unusual. And which means that against 4-frame characters, the best that those characters can do is trade if they think Seth's gonna dash. Right? That's hard. Most characters do not get that kind of stuff. So that is also a good snowball. And when Seth's up close, plenty of plus frame buttons, good hit confirmability, the ability to maintain a cage with great anti-air. That leads into some of the most anti-air damage in the game. Stand roundhouse, right? Some of the most anti-air damage in the game out of that. Has a 3-frame normal defensively. Has a knockdown V reversal defensively. Has an invincible EX move, the DP. Has an anti-air invul DP. I'm trying to think, like, what is it that what's important in a Street Fighter V context that Seth isn't one of the best in the game at? I don't know. Has a V-trigger that deals a lot of damage and can leave you in plus frame setups. Has another V-trigger that can be very tricky. Has a V-skill that can get through fireballs again. It's even another couple of anti-fireball options in those V-skills. And after V-skill 1 lands, dash forward, it's your advantage. And now you have this new move stored up. And V-skill 2, any combo is gonna be like half stage corner carry and you build V-meter while doing it. Both are really good V-skills. The only thing that I think you could say that the character doesn't have is a projectile. But in Street Fighter V, projectiles, while not bad, are not what makes a great character necessarily. I don't know, I feel like there's not a lot of pushback to me putting Seth as number 1. Again, I think that it's not the case that Seth beats everybody. I feel that Honda does pretty well against Seth. I feel that Geef does fine against Seth. But I also think Seth beats a lot of characters. Right, okay, alright, so I just wanted to put out the best character in the game. So, who is the worst character in Street Fighter V CE? Who is the worst? Who's the J tier? Yeah. I'm seeing some votes for Nash, some for Alex, a couple for Ryu. Whatever character you're playing, yeah. Alex has robbery, but Nash doesn't as much, that's true. That's true. You think Ryu's underrated, huh? Okay. Seen a lot of votes for Nash. Falk, okay, okay. Ed, even. Seeing some votes for both of those. Interesting. Okay, well I'm hearing a lot of Nash, and that would be my vote as well. So I don't know whether that's gonna end up. I don't think it's ass. Do you think anybody's ass? This is the tier that you put some character in if you think they are a pile of butts. Is he a pile of butts? Or is he just in least strong? I agree with you all. I absolutely agree. We'll put Nash here, and then maybe we'll move him up to the top of least strong. I don't really know where everybody else is gonna go yet. Okay, cool. So we got what we are describing as number 1 and as number 40. Now let's get to these characters that are kind of in between. So again, we're gonna go through these alphabetically and just place them in a general tier, and then we can get precise later on about like where we think they're supposed to be. So no pressure, no big pressure right now. Abigail, we're putting him in most strongest, stronger, strong. I'm seeing some strongers, I'm seeing a bunch of strongers actually. I thought you all were gonna say most strongest. I think it's clearly the case that Abigail will be in one of these two. All right, well, look, there's 3 different spots per tier list here, and we don't need to fill all of these out. It could be the case that we only have like a top line or whatever. Like it's totally malleable. Maybe this is how I feel we should start at least, personally. Is Abigail here? Maybe we move him down 1, maybe we move him up. I think this is where we should start. Let's come back. We'll come back here. We got him placed, that's okay. Let's go to the next one. Again, once we place a character, we'll come back at the end after we placed everybody and we can finagle around with them. So Akuma, where are we putting? I think the only question for Akuma is he here or here? Right, like that's it. One of those two. Just put Akuma next to Seth, yeah. That seems pretty uncontroversial. Let's go to Alex and navigate down here. Let's actually just do this, just to make this super clear that we're starting out with Nash as being the worst character in the game. Again, we'll reorganize these, but let's go to Alex. I feel like everybody's gonna say this, right? Everybody puts him in least strong. Everybody has him in least. There's no controversy about that. Okay, Birdie. I feel like Birdie's one of the first ones where it's like a little unclear. The other ones we've placed so far, I feel like, come on, Seth, Akuma, Alex, Nash, like we basically know. Birdie, what do you think? Strong? Stronger or strong? Everybody's saying strong. A couple strongers. Everybody else is saying strong. Of course he still has tools. Again, the phrasing of this, the reason I like this phrasing for a tier list rather than the S, 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 A, B, C, all the way down to J that they had in the Topanga tier list. The reason I like this phrasing is that you can be here and the intention is to make that character not feel bad. Or people who play the character not feel bad because you're still strong. You're still called strong. Come on. Oh, he's not been nerfed into the ground. Come on, man. All right, let's do this. I feel like there's a kind of equal representation between these. This is almost how it feels. So again, not much pressure as we're starting out here. We can come back and we can replace these things later. Not a big deal. Let's talk about Blanca. Should we be putting Blanca somewhere else? You don't see much of Blanca. Yeah. I think the reason that we had Blanca high is that I think I argued for Blanca to be higher up. And after a year of results, I kind of don't see that. I don't really see that, to be honest. I've played against Blancas. I played against there's like 2 Blancas, honestly, in North America. I've played against them. And they're good players. And I kind of think that they shouldn't be playing Blanca anymore. That's like basically my feeling. He's definitely close to Birdie. Okay. Do you want to put him here? Do you want to put him here? What do we got? Blanca? What do we got? Blanca? As you can see, when you put more than one, it will actually tell you got too many. So we have too many Blancas up here. Okay. I take it by your fart that you agree. I think that's an agreement fart. Again, we can put Birdie up here. We can put, we can make changes, but I just want to get them all out here first. Boxer. What do we got for Boxer? We're not going to say most strongest. We're not going to say least strong either. It's one of these two. I see one strong, but I see a bunch of other strongers. Yeah, I totally agree with all of you who are saying stronger. I think this character is legit. Oh, what am I doing here? Boxer. Good. Boxer has good snowballing for sure. Good anti-air. Yep, I agree with you on V-Skill too. Helped him out for sure. Okay, Boxer. We move on. Cammy. Top of stronger. Most strong. We got 1 vote for up here. We got a few votes for up here. Bottom of most strongest. Okay, there's a bunch for most strongest. Okay, yeah, and I think I agree with that as well. Again, we can change these around and be a little bit more precise afterward. Let's talk about Chun-Li. Chun-Li, most strongest, bottom of, top of stronger, or something like that. Bottom of most strongest as well, next to Abigail, Cammy, above Abby and Cammy. Okay, well, I mean, we can get precise about this later. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of votes for that, so let's go for Chun-Li then. Let's go to Claw. Claw. I think this is a good spot. I honestly wouldn't hate to have him up here. Cool and strong here. Cody. Okay, there's a lot of votes for strong. I think that's not unreasonable either. Dalsim. We were way wrong about this character. Yeah, by the way, I wouldn't hate to have Cody up here, because I think Cody might be underrated as well. But again, we can get into the little particulars after we put everybody else onto the page. I feel like he goes in stronger. I feel like Dalsim is in stronger. I would say bottom of stronger. Not just Japan. You go to Europe, they got great Dalsim. You go to North America, we have great Dalsim. Caribbean has a great Dalsim. There are good Dalsims, and some of it was figuring out new things that you could do that we didn't immediately notice. For example, the fact that he can change the strength of EX Yoga Fire based on button combination means that he has new combo routes, and some of those combo routes are like, you know, 300-400 damage, like super damaging. That's really good. It's not even like V-Skill 2 stuff, to be honest. It's like he ends up actually being a damaging character, and he has even more setups. Like, Dhalsim players have done so much research, so much tech. It's so cool what they do. So again, I think we got to do this. I think this is where my boy Dhalsim is. Dictator. M. Bison. I think we're going a little higher. I think we're going up here. Bottom of most strongest? Oh, everybody's saying it. Yep, yep. Yep, uncontroversial. Very good. Let's go to Ed. I think the question for Ed is, are we in strong or are we in least strong? You know, are we bottom of strong, maybe? Bunch of votes for least. He had a lot of hype and it didn't really amount to much. Well, I think that is partly true, but there are 40 characters in the game. You're not gonna see all of them. That's just how it is when you have that many characters, even characters who don't suck. Bottom of strong, top of least. See, I'm seeing kind of equal for both of those. So let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Again, we'll come back to this afterward. Falk. Maybe a similar situation. She's scuffed Dhalsim. Who loses to Dhalsim, by the way? Dhalsim blows her up. Right next to Ed. Okay. Yeah. We had a few of those, so let's leave her here. Again, though, we can come back to this later. Let's talk about Fang. I think Fang is an interesting character to talk about. He's not great. He's not going to be in most strongest, obviously. He's probably not in stronger either. I would say strong. I would say Fang is in strong. Because although I think they've never given him the stuff that would just make him good. Just make Stan Roundhouse more plus. Like, there's like just obvious stuff that you would give to him if you actually cared about making him good. Maybe make his V-Trigger 2 last a little longer. Why does it go away so fast? Like, there's things that you could just do for him where he would just be better. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be doing it. Make it so he can combo crouching short, crouching jab, EX lunge punch for a knockdown. Like, there's just clear things you could just do. But at the same time, I do think he's gotten better over time. You guys look like him in strong? Let's put him in strong. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true, Ardusk. The devs are scared of making him good. I think that's right. G. Let's just travel back up north. We'll hike upstairs a little bit and just make this happen. In fact, I mean, let me know what you think here. Probably not the top of top, but are we bottom of most strongest, or are we middle of most strongest? You would say potentially top of stronger. I would not. I'll be honest. Yeah, okay. Yoink. Gil. What do you think about Gil? You'd say strong. We got a strong here. A least strong. Ass? Come on. You're killing me. Nobody's going in ass. I do think he's hard to place. I think my personal view is I would have him in bottom 5. I think that's where I would honestly say. At the same time, the people I know who play Gil think he's not at all bottom 5. They think I'm crazy for that. They think that he's mid, something like that. Nobody thinks he's great, right? Top of least, lower end of strong. Let's do that. We'll say this again. We'll go back and we'll make this more precise later. That's fine. We'll find a place to start out with. Guile. Guile is next to G. He's very solid, clearly, right? And I think that's a good way to put it too, is that he doesn't have stuff that's broken. He's not too good. There's nothing about Guile that makes me think, wow, they should probably nerf that. If they tried to balance 2 Guiles tier, I think that would be actually awesome. If they tried to make everybody as good as Guile. So what are you saying? You're saying middle of most strongest? The Guile theme is playing. How about that? What random timing? So I think if people are cool with this, this is a good spot for Guile. Very solid. Yep. My boy Edmund. My boy Edmund. Let me know what you think he deserves. Where should Edmund Honda be? Seeing some stronger, most strongest, huh? Even I wouldn't say that. Bottom or mid of stronger? Top of stronger? High stronger? Above boxer? Upper of, so we're actually getting a lot of upper of stronger, but there's also some lower of stronger. Mid strong, you would say he's down. Okay, interesting, interesting. Okay, so let's kind of compromise. We'll put Honda here. I want this noted that I'm not the, I didn't say almost anything about where I think Honda deserves to go, and you put him, you in the chat, you put him in middle of stronger. This is your fault. Your fault. I'll talk about where I want to place him when we, you know, figure out these individual spots. Ibuki. I think everybody's saying stronger, it looks like. We don't have anybody in top of stronger yet, so maybe we'll put her there. Ibuki equals strong. The way that our tier list is shaping up, it might be that stronger ends up at about middle, something like that. We'll see. All right, well, we'll just put it here. Let's move on, and we'll talk about this one later. Jury. Jury is next. I think this is maybe a case of strong, but the question is where in strong? Least strong. Least strong from Henry FGG. Everybody else is saying strong. Getting some top strong, getting some least strong. Okay, if that's the case, let's just compromise. We'll just put her here for now. And we'll come back to this. Kage. Bottom of stronger, high strong. I think this is about what I would say as well. One of those two. High stronger, okay, okay. Strong. Oh, high strong, okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I think it's one of these two. I think that makes sense. Not bad, clearly. Let's just, we'll put him here. We'll put him here and we'll go back to it later. Karen. Karin Kanzuki. What are we doing here? I think this could be bottom of most strongest, top of stronger. We don't have anybody in top of stronger yet. Maybe that's where we're going here. What are you guys saying? She's still so good. Tippity top of stronger. Top of stronger, mid, upper stronger, high stronger. The word stronger is starting to sound weird to my ears. You know, when you say the same word too many times in a row, it starts to sound weird. Now it's starting to sound, we're starting to look weird too. Top of stronger. Let's do it. Ken. Karen downplaying. I don't know. I think this is a reasonable spot. I think for Karen personally, I could see one of these. You know, bottom of most strongest, top of stronger, something like that. But anyway, we'll nail it all down later. What about for Ken? Right next to Kage. Yeah, mid strong next to Kage, bottom of stronger, bottom of stronger. When I look at Ken, I see a character that has almost everything, but that is not the best in any of those one things. I think the thing that he lacks is a 3-frame option, other than like random light hurricane. But plenty of characters have no 3-frame options. Look at our G's and Guiles and Abigail's up here. You know? So it's not a requirement, but it is obviously handy. Other than that, Ken is such a reaction, such a different type of character, I feel, than what he gets credit for. Like, you think about the joke of online Kens and how online Ken is so random and how, oh, he's just doing dragon punches all over the place. But then when you see top level Kens play, they're so patient. They're so footsies, reactions. They are hit confirming super well. because that's what you need to be successful with that character. But if you do that, you get good damage, you snowball well, you get good pressure, you get good corner carry. I think Ken's really hard to play, but also not at all bad. Mid of stronger. I think that might be. Would you really say that Kage's? We'll get into the little nitty gritty here later on. I don't want to get that in detail about this right now, but in general, are we putting Ken here or here? We'll just put them next to each other for now, and we'll nail it down later. Colleen, ooh, Colleen. The question is whether Colleen is here or here. That's what I think. I'm trying not to steer these positions too much, but come on, everybody. She's obviously in strongest. The question is which spot, which row here? High strong. Come on, bub. Guys, we need to have her down here in the doldrums. I think she's okay. Let's. Yeah. Okay. You guys are right. We'll do this. Cool. Laura. Yeah. I think Laura's an interesting one, because she won the last Capcom Cup, and then they buffed her because they didn't know that she was about to win Capcom Cup. Stronger, yeah. Most strongest. Oh, top one. All right, buddy. Okay, yeah, I agree with you. Slapper next to Karen. I'm with you. Some people saying next to Dawson. We'll nail this down later, but I think this is in general the right area for her. Somewhere in stronger. Lucia. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of variety here between top of strong and least strong, so we'll just put her here. We'll talk about this later. But she's, oh, my bad, that was, who are we just doing, Lucia? Minato. Low, stronger. I'm seeing a lot of low, stronger. Okay, fair enough. We'll do that then. We can, again, we've been saying, iron it out later on. Let's go to Mika. If you talk with a certain French fighting game player, his position will be that she's down here. Somewhere down here. Is that right? Let's do that. We'll go with that for now. Nikali. I was surprised about how Nikali has kind of been accepted this season, because they buffed him. He got some nice stuff. I think he's good personally, but then the few people who played Nikali kind of moved on, and you don't see Nikali very often. Even just playing online randomly, I just don't see Nikali very often. I think that they made him more interesting too. So I don't think he's boring really. Well, less so than before anyway. Phenom. Yeah, maybe. Is he all that's left? Maybe. There's somebody else. Well, the last time I talked with Combo Fiend, he was playing Nikali. I don't know if he still is though. I mean, I haven't played or talked with him in a year, I guess. But rare. So, it's probably stronger. What are you guys saying here? Somewhere in stronger, yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's just put him here. Poison. Let's go to poison. How high are we going here? Mid of most strongest, top of stronger, most strongest, bottom of most strongest, Abigail level. Yeah. We'll put her here. Top of stronger. Ooh. Okay. Rashid! Hey, is Rashid the best character in the game anymore? We decided today that it's Seth. We said Seth is the best character in the game. That was our pick. We can change that later as when we go back and we finagle all of where to put these characters. We can, you know, be open to that. But Rashid, he's probably here, right? Probably mid of most strongest. I agree with all of you as well. Okay. Let's talk about Ryu. Ryu from the Bayou. I'm trying to let you guys largely pick where we put these characters to start out with, but my view is that Ryu should still be in strong. Next to Alex, next to Gil, around Lucia, even a little higher than that. Okay, alright, well, we'll do this. Again, we can go back later, figure it out. Sagat! Like, he's, yeah, I can see mid. Mid strong, right? Cool, okay. Then let's start him out here. Low stronger, even. Okay, well, we'll try to nail that down after this. Then Sakura. Evo Japan champion. Sakura. Top of strong. Yeah. Top of stronger. Okay. Stronger. Yeah, I like her up here. I like her up here. She doesn't lose any matchups. Ooh. I guess I don't know enough about her matchups, but as far as the characters I play, I feel like she does fine versus Geef. That feels even to me. And I think she beats Honda. But I think she's good. Good in general. Loses to Urian, Guile, and Seth. Okay, so she loses to like the 3 best characters in the game or whatever. That's fine. And let's talk about Urian. Let's talk about Urian. Julian up next. Where does Julian go? Top 3. Will we put Julian up here in most strongest top? Everybody's saying it. Okay, well that makes it basically unavoidable. Urian's up here. Urian greater than Akuma? We can talk about that later. That's cool, no problem. We got 2 left. Zangief. Zangief, I feel there's a big difference based on where you live. In East Asia, they consider him good, really good. Here in NA, I think most of us don't. I think most of us would have Geef in, I don't know, strong tier. Maybe bottom of stronger or something like that. Bottom of, you guys are mostly saying stronger? Okay, fair enough. I thought there might have been more debate on this one, but let's go here. And then Zeku, the last one. Bottom of stronger, next to Rashid. Bottom of stronger? Zeku stronger? High stronger, top of stronger. We're getting a lot of votes for right here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, fair enough. Well, here we go. I didn't know we were gonna end up with Nash, so is this right? I mean, we're gonna want to change some of these things, one way or the other, right? We're gonna have some characters go up slightly, some down slightly, some to the left or right slightly. That's fine, but as a broad view, what do you think about this? So I think this is okay. Again, some of this we're gonna go through here, or we're gonna scoop it out. We're gonna comb it with a nice fine-tooth comb. We're gonna make it prettier looking, but
with my RoboCop.
You got a pretty good RoboCop. I'll give you that.
Oh, my brain!
Oh man, I'm glad that we have the Mortal Kombat noises on. I meant to put Street Fighter noises on here, but we still have the Mortal Kombat ones. There's some good ones out there. Some good Mortal Kombat noises. But I think this is generally okay.
Wait,
so, alright.
This is brutality. You can't do it. Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.
Matzah. I like that one a lot. I'm gonna make my own matzah happen. Matzah.
Matzah!
So, what are we doing here? What are we changing first? Let's start out at the top. Let's start out at the top here. So this is what we've ended up with more or less, right? Now, what we said earlier is that we think Seth is the best. This was the consensus, it felt, among everybody who was in here at the time. We have more people in here now. Is this wrong? Or is this right? We'll get to second. We'll do this. Let's start at the top here. I think I'm happy with this. I'm cool with it. This is our top of top tier. What differentiates least strong versus ass? Ass, don't play these characters. These characters are garbage. I don't think they'll exist in Street Fighter V. Urian's better. Urian versus Akuma is 5.5 for Urian. Alright, fine everybody. Urian, Akuma. Okay? Alright? We move on. G, Guile, Colleen, Rashid. Should one of these be moved up or down? Should they be moved left or right? Well. Rashid over Guile and Colleen. Put Rashid at the front. Another vote for Rashid. Well. She beats Colleen and Guile. Have you seen Umehara Guile versus Rashid? That man is ridiculous. So, are you supposing we switch Rashid and Guile here? Is that the proposition? Or you would have Rashid switched with G, even. Because I kind of think... I don't have a strong position on that, I think is really my true feelings. Is this what you guys are cool with? Guile over Rashid now? There's a lot of back and forth here, everybody. Get your mind straight. Come on, 200 people. Get your mind straight. Together. This is a consensus. This is supposed to be a consensus tier list. Come on. I guess what I would say is... Here's probably how I would do it, but I'm just one vote here. Colleen, Rashid. This is probably what I would do. It's probably my honest... Not quite. Here's my honest opinion. Colleen, Rashid, G. This is probably how I would do it. Yeah, I'm cool with that. But again, let me know what you guys think. You don't think Colleen's better than Rashid? Fair enough. Do I think Colleen beats Rashid? I don't know. That's not really what I'm trying to say here. I don't think that okay, if all else equal, if one character beats the other, they should be above, but there's no case of all else equal. So I don't think it's down to whether Colleen beats Rashid or not. Yeah, it's an overall situation. All right. But again, this is just my perspective, and I'm trying not to make this like all my own thoughts. I would just have done that if that was my goal here. So how should I rearrange Colleen, Rashid, Guile, G? So you put Rashid over Colleen still. Colleen, Rashid, Guile, G in that order. Oh, that's what I already have. Guile's better than G. G has robbery, but Guile has everything else. Okay. All right. I'm open to that. I think as long as Rashid is fourth, the list is fine. Okay. So it sounds like this is the consensus here. Is this right? We got Rashid, Colleen, Guile, G. Yeah, we're into the very small differences here. Cool, cool. All right, sounds like people are happy with that. Let's talk about Abigail, Cammy, Chun, Dictator, Poison. Should one of those be moved up or down? Should they be moved left or right? Oh, we're getting a lot of Poisons and Dictators going up, huh? Getting a lot of Abigail should be at the back of this, so... so we're saying like Chun, Abigail, right? Is this kind of what we're talking about here? Okay. Hey, I'm cool with it. I think this is very reasonable. Very reasonable take. I guess my view personally is that I would have Abigail above this. I think what I would do, honestly, is probably have Abigail up here. But you know, it's not a big deal either way, really. What do you think about this proposition? Here's a take. What do you think about this? This is a proposition here. Okay, we're getting a lot of, yes, that's exactly right. We're getting a lot of, some of Poison still up here, but I think as far as the consensus goes, this seems like people are cool with it. Okay. Alright, well. You know, we can take another pass through later. It's okay. Let's talk about Karen, Laura, Zeku. Should they be up or down? Should they be left or right? I'm okay with it, as is. Maybe Zeku and Laura switch? Something like that? Maybe Zeku goes up here even? Zeku at the top of Stronger. Yeah, I think that would be fine too. Because I was just saying I think Zeku could go up here. That would be fine with me. So maybe we have Zeku. Oop. Karen. Laura. That. I think Zeku's overrated, really. Yeah, I think he's good. Like I said, I wouldn't be opposed to having him in Strongest. But, you know. I wouldn't say Zeku's top 5 either. That's not my take either. So how many characters do we have in here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 12. So we have 12 characters in the top. Zeku is definitely one of the coolest. I don't even want to play that character, but he's super cool. I highly agree. Well, we're talking about like ideal situations, right? We're talking about a player, a theoretical player who maximizes their character. That's the idea of this tier list is a theory list. Well, we have 13 characters in the most strongest tier. Yeah, I thought that was one of his biggest buffs. Crouching, medium kick, and old is now cancelable and hit confirmable. Okay, alright, there's a lot of pushback on this, so I will go back to this. Alright, fair enough. How about Karen and Laura? How about these? And Karen and Laura, fine, cool. Alright, yeah, it seems fine for me. How about Boxer, Honda, Ibuki, Nikali? Should one of them be moved up or down? I'm kind of cool with all these so far.
Why do you fucking play like that, you bitch ass bitch?
Thank you. I guess here's what I would do, even as a Honda player. I'd probably do this. And then I'll probably have him at the end of this. I don't know that I mean, I'd probably have him under Sakura. I'd probably want Sakura up here or middle of Stronger. Like, I do think Honda beats Menat, but I think Menat's probably better overall. Would I agree that Bison has the most just do it moves? Maybe. Maybe. So... yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe this. Ibuki, Sakura, and Colorado top of strongest. Yeah, I think we should probably move Sakura up. I'm on board for that. I think that makes sense. Well, now we got a space. We gotta close that off. I really do think Ibuki is better than Boxer. Really? Again, I think Honda's good. I don't even really want significant buffs for Honda. But I don't think that he's as good as the rest here. Ooh, back to back! Super 2U says Ibuki. Alligator opening mouth to the left, Boxer. Then Commander Pepper says Boxer. Alligator opening to the left, Ibuki. Wow. Wow. Exactly the opposite takes. Honda behind Laura. So you would have Honda on the top of this, on top of Stronger? Boxer equals Ibuki. We're gonna have a spot here called Iboxer. Iboxer. Oh. Never mind. You both move again, yeah, Sakura. You move Sakura up even more, would you? I don't know, I mean, I think that this is... I don't know that I need to change here. I think this is actually kind of fine, but... would I agree that Honda has good pressure? Yes. I definitely would. But I also think that he is very susceptible to good pressure. He has some of the weaker defensive options in the game. He doesn't have a 3-frame button, and his 4-frame button is pretty dinky. And he's okay. I mean, you know, he doesn't get killed, but most characters have better defensive tools. Honda over Geef. Maybe. I just am... My personal take on Geef is maybe that I would even have him down here. But then I see so consistently that in Japan they have Geef so high up, and I just think like, maybe we're not seeing it. Maybe it's not just that Itazan is a genius and Kichipam was a genius. Maybe the character's really good. Right, Mika lower maybe? Mika Geef. Oh, Honda, Mika Geef. We just want the reordering of the end of Stronger tier there. I don't know, I think that it's okay. I mean, if there's a lot of people who feel the same way, we'll make the change, but if not, I feel like it's okay. Put Mika top of Strong. Yeah, some people would have her lower than this, absolutely. Honda, Geef, Mika. Oh, there's actually, okay, so we're getting several votes for Honda above both Geef and Mika, although ordering of Geef and Mika maybe back and forth. Is that true? Do you guys want me to move Honda here when we'll have like Geef, Mika, or Geef, Mika, Geef? Mika, Honda, Geef. Oh no, we're getting all the permutations. But we're getting a lot of, okay, we're getting a lot of Honda greater than all three of those. Greatest of those three. Honda higher than Geef. Yeah, a lot of people said Honda above Geef. Okay, fair enough. You guys got it. All right. Whoa!
I'm gonna bust you up!
Don't bust me up.
I'm gonna tell you where the butt is!
Poll. Poll has been created. Okay, hey, Mika wins. It's Mika above Geef. That was very democratic. Good job, everybody. We didn't even have any violence. We had a peaceful transition of tier power. Good job, good job. Let's talk about the strong. Let's talk about Birdie, Claw, Cody, Kage, Ken. Do we want to move any of these up or down? What do you think? Do we want to maybe, I know there was some discussion about this, Birdie or Kage going up to stronger? We were talking about that at the beginning. Is that something anybody's still interested in? Or do you want to keep him here? Hey, if you think Claw should be lower, you let me know. You argue for it, let me know. Claw up. Claw to stronger. Okay, we got back and forth on this. You guys should have a little debate. Claw's pretty good, but he lacks a proper reversal. Hey, V-Skill 2 is frame 1 invul. I think Claw is good this season. I agree with you guys. I think he's good. Let's take a... Claw should not go to least strong. I will not allow it. I'm gonna put my foot down and veto it. But the rest of this, like, honestly, I'm okay with. I do think there's an argument for Kage to go up here. If not, not a big deal to me. I think there's an argument for Cody to go up. I honestly think Cody's underrated. I'll be honest. I think Cody's good. But also not a big deal. I think this is good company for him. Okay. All right. There's not a lot of opposing opinion. Not a lot of strongly held opposing opinions anyway. Because I'm not entirely on board with it, but like, it's fine. I'm not opposed to it. Sounds like that's how many of you think as well. Cool. Let's talk about the middle row of strong then. Blanca, Fang, Jury. Oh no, Lucia, Sagat. Blanca, Fang, Jury. Well, should one of them be moved up or down? Sagat above everyone else in that row, really. I think my personal take about who should be front of that row, I think might be Fang. Actually, I'm okay with Blanca Fang, but Fang Blanca could make sense to me. Sagat at the top, Jury up. Lucia in ass with the little James Chen emotes. I see you. I don't think James even thinks that either. Sagat in front of Jury. Okay. So what you mean is, so Sagat, Jury, Lucia. Oh. Lucia. Is this what you're talking about? I think I'm okay with this. You definitely think Jury's the best character in that row. I too agree that I think Blanca is better than Lucia. I think that's right. But do we have a lot of votes for Jury front of this row? Is she the best character in this row? Lots of no's on that one. Okay. Should Fang be the front of this row in strong? Should Fang be at the front? We'll make it happen. So it sounds like people are cool with this line in the strong tier. Not entirely. I'm seeing a little bit of pushback on this, but it seems like this is the consensus. What are we talking about here? You'd rather move Ryu up than Lucia down. And also, Ryu down. Ryu way down. So look, I agree on Ryu. It feels weird to me to be placing Ryu in what is bottom 6 right now. But that's just gonna not be avoidable, I think. And part of why I phrase these tiers this way of most strongest, stronger, strong, least strong is to try to get the point across that nobody's bad, that they're all pretty good. Ryu up to middle, so you would have Ryu here. Yeah, no, Ryu has good stuff. That's the thing here. Ryu definitely has good stuff. He has, as you say, Jebsen, 3-frame jab, invul DP. He has got buttons that are plus. He's got a fast dash. He's got good damage. I personally look at that character and I don't see a pile of garbage. I agree. But then I also think to myself, do I think that Ryu is better than this other character who has all those things that we just named? She's got all that stuff. Oh no, I screwed up. This character has all that stuff. Is that bad? I don't know. Right? Fang, Blanca, and Sagat don't have those things, but I feel like they're better. So it's just, I don't think Gil's terrible, right? I think that Gil, nobody's bad is a big part of the point here. Nobody's bad. What makes Nash bad? Yeah, I think Nash is the worst. We sorted out on that one. What makes him bad? I think he's lacking a lot of stuff. So, it is true that you don't need... There's no one thing that is dispositive that makes a character great in this game. It's a combination of factors, of course, but you look at the characters that we have near the top, and Seth just has basically everything. Urian has basically everything except for a 3-frame button, but everything else. Akuma has actually everything, just not much life. So they just got all the stuff. Rashid has everything. Like, there's these just very all-around characters. This guy has everything except for a 3-frame button. Like, there's just all around. And Nash is just the opposite of that. Like, he doesn't have the invul option, and he doesn't have the 3-frame button, and he doesn't have... Well, he can have big damage, but it's rare that you find that. And he's got, you know, V-reversible stuff that is plus, but, like, you just get him off of you. It's no big deal. You just react to it. He's got a fast dash, but it's not like it used to be. And it's not as much lag as it used to be when he had that fast dash as well, so it's like doubly not as effective as it used to be. His mid-range is not as good as many characters. If you have V-Skill 2 active, then he at least has the safe scythe, but like, you know, you gotta set a thing up for that. I don't know why you need to set it up, just make it good. I don't know. Like, I don't know why they nerfed that a while ago, just make it good. So, yeah, I do think that he is not great. Now, you know, you look at, for example, I've seen tier lists put together by Bonchan. He thinks Sagat and Nash are both better than what everybody else thinks. I don't know, maybe he's right, you know? This is all subjective, I think. His V system is not great. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Yep. Again, V-Skill 2, like the other moves that get modified, Boxer, Honda, right? Other characters who have V-Skills that modify, that are like installs, Burien. They already have good moves. The moves that they get buffed are already good. And then you buff them a bit, and Honda gets to combo out of hands, and Boxer gets plus frame dash punch, and Urien gets armor, or he gets a really damaging or huge projectile, or whatever, like whichever one you're buffing. And then you look at Nash, and it's just like, the move that gets buffed is just not, it's not even, it's like -8 or something, whatever. Like, why? Why did you nerf that? Just make it good. And then if you want to, you can make it so that like V-Skill 2 makes Scythe really good. That's cool. But it's not. It just makes it good. It just makes it okay. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of work that they need to do on Nash, but I guess we'll see. And this is all not to say that I think Nash is terrible. When I play against the Nash online, I'm taking it seriously. This is not some joke. He's not a joke character. Nobody is. But compared to everybody else, I think he's on the weekend. Does anybody want to make changes? Or are we good on this tier list? This is a group tier list. I didn't do it. You guys did a lot of this. I don't agree with some of it, but not strenuously, or I would have said it. I think this is pretty cool, but let me know if you guys want to change. Swap Ed/Falk with Ryu/Gil. Ryu should go up. We are getting a lot of Ryu should go up. That is actually happening a lot here. Move Falk to least strong. Well, we're getting, let's tackle Ryu first. So we're getting a lot of Ryu should be moved up. Now, do you think that Ryu should go to the front of this row of strong tier? Or should Ryu go up to next to Lucia? Because those are different. Next to Lucia and Gil ahead of Ed. I guess that kind of makes sense. So here's what it sounds to me like you guys are talking about. So it sounds to me like you're saying this, that. Is this what you're saying? Not bad. I think that's as good as it's gonna get, is not bad, because this is, the intention here is to have kind of a community effort at making a tier list. If I just wanted to come up and be like, hey everybody, here's my tier list, I just would have made it beforehand and I would have been like, guess what? Seth's definitely the best. Guess what? I would have Abigail in probably a tier higher than we have him here. But you know, this is more or less cool anyway, and I think this is really fun. So I think nobody is gonna come away from this being like, this is exactly right. But I hope that we'll all come away from this saying, yeah, pretty good, more or less. So Gil, is Gil in an okay place for you guys? I said when we started this that my personal view is that Gil is bottom 5, but I also told you that my buddies who play Gil think that's really stupid to say. They think Gil's obviously better than that. What do you all think? You guys are good? Okay, yeah. Why do I think he's bottom 5? I think once you kind of learn what Gil does, you can dance around a lot of his stuff. I think that's what it's acknowledged. What their opinion is that he's the kind of character that will keep getting stuff figured out. Like he's a deep character, he's a deep enough character that over time, Gil players will come out with more and more tech. And that will make him more and more effective, which I could see. That seems like a reasonable guess about what will happen. But each time something has come out for Gil, I just like learned that, oh, actually like in this V-trigger setup where he like makes the ground freeze and then he does the kickity kick up in this guy, the knees up in this guy, you just backdash, just get out of there. Like things like that of just knowing what he does just made him less scary. He's more reliant on projectiles, I think, than many characters, which is hard in this game. I mean, projectiles aren't terrible, but you know, you look at like who has projectiles. We talked about this earlier. Yeah, Urian's got one, Akuma's got one. They have basically everything, but you know, you look beyond that here, and the only characters that are like really dependent, they're good because of projectiles, are like, it's like Guile, basically. Right? Like other than that, you know, you go down, and then, okay, Dalsum. I don't know that you could really call him a not a projectile, but kind of. And then it's like, okay, this guy's Fireball, you know, don't even really see it. And then it's like, Sagat wants to try to do fireballs. Bummer. Ryu, bummer. Ed, bummer. Falk, bummer. Gil, bummer. Like, Nash, bummer. That's just kind of how the game is. And you could make projectiles good, but there's just a lot of stuff that you'd need to do, I think, to make that happen. Yeah, I mean, of course Rashid has a projectile, but it's more like, this is my corner pressure than like, I'm gonna zone you out. There's only a few matches where Rashid really gets to do that. It's mostly not the reason that he's great, but he, like Akuma, he's got every option, right? He can do all the stuff. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm okay. I'm okay with this. Let's move on. Yeah, I'm down. Let's move on to the tournament tier list. Who can win majors by themselves? Some of these, look, every character who's up here is going to be able to say yes. So let's just very quickly do, and we'll talk about the order, it doesn't matter as much for this. Urian, Kuma, Rashid, Guile, G, arbitrarily go down to the next line. Poison, Dictator, Chun, Cammy, Abigail, Zeku. And some of these we've seen happen, so obviously. Colleen. Karine. Laura. Won Capcom Cup. Well, not by herself, I guess, but you know, anyway, she got buffed after that. Boxer has done it, so Fact can win majors alone. I think maybe now it gets to the point where, oh, Sakura did it. Fact has done it. Did I forget Colleen? Oh. You're right. Boxer won the CPT Online NA East. Cody did it! Fact. It happened. What did Abigail win? Yutazan definitely won something. Yeah. But this is also not intended to be like, have they won it, then they can show up. It's also like, definitely the top tiers can win by themselves. And also for some characters who we might not have in the most strongest tier, who has done it. In which case, clearly, it's possible. I mean, I think Nakali's probably yes. Ibuki, Nakali, so there. Now, here to me is where it begins to become more of a question. No, that's too long ago, Lance. Yeah, that's a couple of versions of Birdie ago. Yeah, these characters I am less certain of. I kind of think, like, Dalsums actually have won. There was a Dalsum team that won a big team tournament. That's all I can think of. And some other Dalsums who almost won big tournaments by themselves. Very close. Yeah, I don't know which Bison you mean, but Dictator and Boxer are both up here, Albert. Has Nikali won? I don't think so. Yeah, I kind of think he can, that's all. But I don't think anybody has done it. Not in the last season-ish. But I think he's good enough to do it, personally. Dalsum, yeah, Dalsum is in trouble in some matchups. I don't know, maybe we put Dalsum in main as well, or alone as well. It's on the margins for me. Honda, I think would be tough. I think for these, let me say this. For some of these, it's going to be luck based. If a Zangief enters a tournament and there just happens to not be any Dalsum, there just happens to not be any, I don't know who, Poison, right? Whatever, like characters he loses to, Abigail's. There just happens not to be any that he runs into in his path. Totally doable, totally plausible. He could win for sure. And I feel the same way about Honda. If Honda doesn't run into a Sakura, if Honda doesn't run into a Guile, or whatever, like there's some characters that beat him, definitely. But that's possible for sure. But I think for these, it's safer to say main. Okay, let's move on. How about for the next row here? Birdie, Claws, scroll down slightly. We're talking about Birdie, Claw, Cody. Cody did it. So, fact, has done it. Kage almost won, man. Snake Eyes was so close in NA West. But I think these are all mains. Has Birdie won a major in recent times? Oh, yeah, Mena RD did. He actually did, you're totally right. Fact, Birdie won CPT Online Central America. Alright, let's move on. Fang, Blanca, Sagat, Jury, Lucia, Ryu. I feel like some of these were starting to get down to the secondaries, right? Question is which? So, I think Fang, maybe all of them. Maybe all of them are secondary at this point. Yeah, some Fangs have made it close, it's true. It's true. It's surprising to me that Blanca hasn't gotten closer. I really thought that character was going to be strong. And it just didn't end up that anybody did it. But that's not to say that nobody can do it, of course. Sagat has too many bad matchups. Right, multiple Fangs have made it close. There was one Blanca in Southeast Asia that got top 8, right, yeah. Hondas did as well. It gets tough here. Here's what we can say. Do this. Let's take an easy shot. Let's actually do this. Well, let's just be very cautious. Let's do this. So now we're kind of in the middle, right? 1 Chan, 1 Evo with Sagat as a secondary. It's true. That's true. Yeah, we'll just do this and then let's discuss like where else, right? So everybody's covered? Yeah, everybody's in here. Alright, so we can move them around a little bit here. So maybe we could do Blanca as main. I don't know enough about it. Yeah, we've been considering like CPT stuff as majors, that's fine. I mean, if he did win, if Wolfgang had won NLBC, that's fine. I'm prepared to take that as evidence of a major, why not? I don't think anybody's ass. I don't think anybody's in don't pick because as people have been bringing up, even Nash has made CPT top 8s this year. So I don't think anybody is useless. Zaf did win an NLBC with Sagat. That's true. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. What do you think about this? Is that cool? We've seen people in the past win majors with Jury as a secondary. It was a while ago. But it's not like she's changed. They haven't nerfed her since then, that's for sure. Lucia, I think, is unlikely. Ryu, I think, is unlikely. You see Nemo, which he should be doing. He's mostly using Urien with Gil as a counter, which is totally cool. Or if Urien gets banned in the SFL. But that makes sense. And Ed and Falk are in the right spot, and Alex and Nash are in the right spot for sure. I think it's pretty good. You know, I'm okay with this. Any significant opposition? I think good work. I think it's a good job. Because some of these that I otherwise wouldn't have up here, like factually did. He actually did. Actually did. This is, I didn't really order this, by the way, within each tier. I don't think that matters as much for this. Tournament tier list. Who can win majors alone? All of these. This is the bulk of the cast. How many characters is this? What is this? 3 times... Okay, so we got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is most of the cast. Right here. This is 21 of the 40s. So the majority of the cast we have in can win majors alone. And then most of the rest are can win majors as mains, which I think is correct. In fact, you know, I think there are very plausible worlds, although less likely that these characters can too. Again, if Zangief, Mika, Honda, Menat, Dhalsim, Clock, Hage, Ken, if these characters are in majors where they happen to not face their bad matchups, they can totally win. And that's happened before. That kind of stuff has happened before. Not impossible. So I think there's even an argument for them, but it's, you know, safer to have them in main. This is cool. Here we go. I'll put these out on Twitter. I'm gonna blame all of you. I'm gonna say this is the tournament tier list and regular tier list that the folks over hanging out at twitch.tv/UltraChenTV made earlier today. It's their fault. Enjoy being my scapegoat. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. You all have a good day.